Have you ever wondered why journalists don't cover the same kinds of stories about Disney and entertainment that we do on this channel? Well, wonder no more. In an exclusive interview, an international journalist claims that when she tried to do follow-up on one of the stories we had here on the channel, that she was threatened and fired. Is it happening to more? Folks, tune in. Don't go anywhere. Let's get started right now.
Many here are likely familiar with National Geographic's documentary Retrograde, which chronicles the final collapse of Afghanistan. No faces are blurred, no identity is concealed, whether American or Afghan. A creative decision approved by Disney and Nat Geo executives. And so, as Retrograde became a hit in Hollywood, it became a hit list in Afghanistan. A hit list which the Taliban used to identify, abduct, torture, and kill one whom my organization pledged to protect. A 21-year-old father named Omar. I hate that being an ally to the U.S. is such a thankless proposition. Will you let apathy damn them to the same fate as Omar? Will you instead enforce the promises made to them who protected American soldiers?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we believe in telling the truth each and every day. Explaining entertainment, keeping you ahead of the culture curve, only works if we're doing our best to be as honest as possible. Joining us today is someone who has been as honest as she possibly can be, and that is Marina. You are back for the third time. You were here before, telling us about an issue with disability access at the Walt Disney parks, and then you joined us again briefly on the Pro Show. But it's a great honor to have you back, and folks are not going to believe this story in just a moment. Marina, welcome.
I'm glad to be here again.
Marina, you, let me see if I have this correct, okay? You watched the video that we did on this channel regarding the congressional testimony about the National Geographic documentary Retrograde. And that congressional testimony was that because the faces were not blurred in that documentary about the pullout of Afghanistan, because the faces were not blurred, it had put lives in danger, and perhaps some lives had already been lost in a tortuous way. And then we had talked in that video I had with Andrew of Legal Mindset and Mark, who's a former military member, that it would be wise to either remove that documentary or to blur the faces, one or the other. And so we implored the forces, the powers that be, to do so. You watched that video, and my understanding is that you, as a journalist, that you decided that this was a story worth pursuing. Is that correct?
Yes, it's correct, because they are alive in danger, and it's just an easy fix. Just blur the faces. It's not a big deal in post-production. We do it every day, so I can't understand why they didn't do it at the first time. And I think it's important to share the story with everyone, because here in Germany, the Disney problematic is not covered at the moment. And I thought people need to know what is happening on Disney Plus and National Geographic. And I wanted to publish the story.
So we're going to go through the details in just a moment, but I want to kind of skip ahead to the end of this story, or at least the new beginning. Now, on this channel, after we covered that topic, we had troubles. We're not going to go into any details about the troubles we've had. Folks who have been watching this channel will know. But Marina, that doesn't even compare to the troubles that you have had, because you were working for a major news organization, and something has happened as a result of you attempting to cover that story. What has happened, Marina?
I lost my job. It's the short form of what has happened, because the first time I gave it to my chief editor, and he was like, no, we don't want to cover it. And I was like, it's important, we need to cover it, and went to another editor at my broadcasting company, and he was like, yeah, okay, we can run the story. We ran the story, and yeah, it was a wrong decision, and it cost my job.
When you ran the story, which is congressional testimony that was given under oath, when you covered that, what was the reaction from the Walt Disney Company?
Denying. It's the short form. It's denying, and threatened me not to publish the story and not to publish fake news.
So walk us through then.
We should make a difference, because it was not the big Disney company. It was Disney Germany and Austria and Switzerland. So
okay, so Disney, Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. You said that they threatened you that you should not run the story. Tell us what that means exactly, because what we're trying to ascertain here is there are journalists, there have to be good journalists all over the world. Surely there still are. We don't often get the news stories that reveal the kind of things that we talk about here and on thatparkplace.com. What was the threat exactly that they sent your way?
As I said, they told me it's a fake news and I need to put it down because otherwise I will have a problem with the law. Let's face it this way, because publishing fake news is obviously a bad thing to do, and you shouldn't do it. And there are laws here in Germany against it.
Did they acknowledge the congressional testimony under oath at all?
They don't even mention it. I was saying it to them in my email. We only had contact via mail, and they are ignoring it. And the bad thing is that the foundation had never answered my request. So I would love to hear their side of the story, but I think they are afraid.
Now, Marina, in the prior time that you were on the channel, and we knew at that time that you were an international journalist, but you also revealed some additional parts of your life that might be considered private. But since you revealed them, I just want to say the last time you were on, we were talking about individuals with disabilities trying to navigate the Disney parks. And that was close to your heart because you also have some of those mobility issues. Is that correct?
Yes, I'd had an accident. I was jumping on a trampoline and was stuck with my foot during a somersault, and that was it. My musical career was ended after this accident.
One of the things that really let me into knowing your personality and the type of go-get-it attitude you have is that you were telling me that at Disney, because you have a mobility issue, that Disney wanted you to be in a wheelchair, and you said, "No, I don't want to be in a wheelchair. I do have a mobility issue. I do have problems with getting around on my own, but I want to walk." And I thought, well, that's a great way to be. But Marina, what this means is if what you are saying is true, and I can't verify it, I have to go on what you believe or what you say. We're not going to put the documents up on the screen right now. But that said, it seems to me that Disney Germany, Switzerland, and Austria came after a disabled female journalist trying to do the right thing and cover a story that might have an impact on people's lives. This is amazing to me that this was the response that they gave to you. And then on top of that, Marina, after Disney made that I guess threat, I don't know exactly how to clarify it better than that. Not trying to be disparaging towards Disney, but clearly they said if you do this, there will be repercussions. Marina, what was the response from your news organization after that?
They told me to stop, don't investigate, do another thing, go to a horse show and talk with horses. And this was the response from my boss.
And so then ultimately, this also resulted in your termination, correct?
Yes. But it was because I asked the wrong question before. It was not only this the reason, it was because I was investigating on other things.
Right. So, Marina, tell me about the chilling effect you think this has on journalists when asking the wrong questions or following the unapproved story results in the termination of journalists. I thought the job of journalists was to investigate, to find out, to dig deeper, and especially on these majorly important stories. And this feels like something out of a Ron Burgundy kind of skit where you are on the trail of something that's been given under oath to Congress in the United States, and they say, no, shut up, go do a horse story, go to the horse show and go follow the pretty horses. We don't want to touch this. And then you've got this major corporation saying, yes, we believe in DEI, believe all women, and we're all for people who have disability issues, but we will throw you under the bus if you touch us.
Yes, that's correct. And it's the same at our corporation. I'm a white woman, so I don't have any rights. If I had another skin color, I would be more protected.
So then let's get to the story that you were following, Marina, before this all happened. And again, to all parties out there, I don't have the ability to know what the truth is here. I can only go on what you're telling me. But if the Walt Disney Company or if your news organization, which I don't even know the name of your news organization, but if any of those groups want to voice their thoughts on this, they're welcome to come on the channel. We'll run their response on thatparkplace.com. We believe in being totally honest and fair here on this channel. But Marina, what had you discovered in your investigative process prior to your termination?
I think I discover that they are willingly putting people's life at danger, because I can't explain why they don't blur the faces. If you have a story like this, you will take everything to protect your sources. That's the first thing I learned as a journalist: protect your sources. And I can't understand why they risk the life so easily. I don't want to make any bad decisions, but I think they did it willingly, and I can't live with it. So I thought I need to cover the story, because no one should die because of a small mistake in the editor room.
Yes, in a documentary, absolutely. And no one should have their life ended in a horrific way for something that's so easily modified. And so I agree with your assessment there. I don't know about the part about it was done willingly. This is so bizarre to me, because there's so many different groups involved in this sort of thing that somebody somewhere should have said, in my estimation, the right thing. And I don't understand why that didn't happen. And I don't understand why it continues to not happen. But it is amazing to me that when a journalist seeks to just cover this story, this is the kind of end to their career, at least with that news organization, that one can expect to have. And I think it speaks more broadly to what is happening all across our ability to report the news. So, Marina, for the folks out there, you have started a new YouTube channel. You're going to try to go forward and do the right thing and report on things the right way. Can you tell folks where they can find you and what exactly it is you'll be doing on the internet now?
It's a German word. It's stuck on tour. It's like badger, because I'm a Hufflepuff, and I thought that should be fun. And I will teach people how they can do their own research and uncover stories and run with them. And so we can all stand up and put an end to this kind of journalism and show them that you don't need to work for a big corporation. Everyone can be a journalist.
That's the beautiful thing, Marina. And I think that society at large is struggling with this with the paradigm shift. I mean, it's a total shift in that 30 years ago, that wasn't true. I mean, a citizen journalist couldn't do basically anything. Today, a citizen journalist can have a voice to millions and millions and millions of people. And so for all the faults that we might find in technology and technology platforms, that is a major change. And so, Marina, I hope that as long as you follow the truth and that you try to do the right thing, I hope that your audience grows and grows. So from one fellow Hufflepuff to another, I'm hoping that you'll do quite well. We've got the link to Marina's contact information as well as her YouTube channel down below in the video description, folks. If you'd like to follow up with her there. But we wanted to show you the cost of trying to tell the truth. Now, are we alleging anything on this channel or this video about Disney and the decision-making process regarding retrograde? No. We're simply reporting on what was congressional testimony, like we would report on any news item, and then we're reporting on a journalist who has made the statements and accusations that Marina has made. So reach out to her if you would like to follow up. And again, the parties who are being claimed to have acted in a less than pleasant manner, they're welcome to reach out to the channel or to thatparkplace.com, and we'll run that story as well, because we believe in hearing all sides. Folks, it is now your turn. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. Like, share, subscribe. Click it. Stick it to the algorithms. It's the notification bell. And don't forget that the Pro Show is live Tuesdays at noon Eastern Time. You do not want to miss it, not for a single second. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you so much for all that you have done over the last week to help this channel. Now it's time to help Marina as well. Folks, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
goes.
This is Wilton the Troll reporting for That's Park Place, and I'm surrounded by loving and adoring people who are peacefully trying to make sure that poor kids aren't cold in the winter. And just behind me, you can see a totally natural bonfire for baking cookies or making marshmallows.
Yeah, so, Wilson, we're really appreciate the effort and stuff, but we're looking for real and, accurate news reporting on that Park Place.
So not like most news outlets, huh?
No.